Long, long ago, there was a group of people who possessed the magical ability to fly. They lived freely in their homeland, soaring through the skies. However, one day, they were captured and enslaved. Their wings were bound and they were packed by the hundreds on ships for a long journey. Their bound wings decreased in size along with their ability to fly as the scent of Africa faded away. When they arrived to their new land, their wings were so small that they went unnoticed and their ability to fly had completely vanished. On the plantations, the enslaved people endured harsh treatment, back-breaking labor, and unspeakable suffering. Their shrunken wings became more and more buried beneath their oppression. The wings became forgotten and lost to many. Yet, among them were a few who still remembered the old ways, the magic and the words that could make them fly again. One of those individuals was an elder named Toby. He was wise, compassionate, and carried the knowledge of the magic deep within him. One very hot day, a young woman named Sarah, who had a small baby on her back, was working in the field. She became overwhelmed by exhaustion and gave out right there. The overseer whipped her cruelly, with no regard to the baby, demanding that she continue working. Seeing her and the baby suffering, Toby approached Sarah and helped her up, shielding her from the overseer. Sarah whispered to him while sobbing, "I have to go soon. No, I have to go now. I can't take this anymore." Toby looked at her while the overseer was yelling and cracking his whip behind him and whispered the ancient and powerful words of flight into her ear. Kamyali, Kumba, Ba, Kambe, and other ancient words that have been forgotten with time. As Toby spoke, Sarah stopped crying and stood straight up. Her wings freed and regrown, spread out wide. Then suddenly, she slowly rose into the air, clumsily at first, but soon with more confidence. Carrying her child tightly in her arms, she flew away, out of reach of the plantation and her oppressors. The other slaves watched in amazement, but were told not to believe their eyes by the overseer and again by old Massa when he heard the report, but it was too late. One by one, for 3 days, Toby whispered the words to others who were all at their breaking point, helping them escape their suffering. They rose into the skies, leaving behind the chains of slavery. On the 3rd day, the hottest day, Toby said those ancient words to more who were in the field. Soon after, a group of enslaved people who had taken to the horizon, but the overseer heard Toby this time. He comes running and yelling, trying to stop Toby, causing old Massa to come out of the house to see what the fuss is. They see Toby spread wings and take flight just as the overseer approaches him. Old Massa was mad. He yelled threats at Toby angrily, but Toby, flying just out of their reach, threw his head back and in a loud, booming voice said, "Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who the people in these fields are? We are the people who can fly." And with that, he flew after those who left before him, turning back only for a moment, looking at the remaining people enslaved on that plantation and promised them that one day they too would find their wings and fly to freedom. Then as they looked in amazement, he soared into the sky, joining the others who had flown away. Some say they went back to Africa, some say to free land closer by, but one thing is for sure, they were free. Those who remained who were unable to fly spread the story of what they saw to every slave who would listen. It became a tale of freedom told among African Americans, both free and enslaved, with some even claiming that theirs is the very plantation that Toby and the others flew from that day. Even after emancipation, the story continues to live on as a testament to the power and inner strength of those who are oppressed. It is a bold reminder that we are a people who could fly.